Who's the top of the list when it comes to which celebrity you want to take on a road trip with you? Well, this is something that I asked people about not long ago, actually, and I put those videos on here. I'll talk about those videos, but I also want to talk about a survey from Kwik Fit that looks at what people voted for. And it may not surprise you to learn that top of the list was, you know what? I'll tell you right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Right, okay, so what I was going to say was number one on the list by all adults, men and women, was Jeremy Clarkson. Yes, you want to take Jeremy Clarkson on a road trip with you. New research has revealed the celebrities with whom British people would most like to share a UK holiday journey. And of the famous names known for their driving and love of cars, Jeremy Clarkson is the nation's top choice to get behind the wheel. So actually they want him to do the driving, which again, considering his track record and considering the track record of what the stuff they've been getting up to on Top Gear, I'm not sure that would be ideal. But anyway, they also asked people who they would like to join them as a passenger. Peter Kay, the comedian and star of the TV sitcom Car Share, came out on top. Peter Kay. And he was followed by two other TV stars loved for their broad knowledge and variety of stories, Stephen Fry and Bob Mortimer. Yeah, Stephen Fry would be fascinating, but I'll tell you what, it'd be a little bit intimidating because he's a very smart guy. The research found that there is an agreement between men and women on their favorite driver. The top five vary between the sexes. Jeremy Clarkson is the top choice for both men and women. David Beckham and Lewis Hamilton also in both top fives, for both means men and for women. Lewis Hamilton, yeah, I mean, if you want somebody to drive you who you know is going to be incredibly good, skilled, safe, but fast, then yeah, Lewis Hamilton, obviously. David Beckham, I don't know what his driving skills are like. I know apparently he's pretty good at football, but anyway. Let's see what else people said. Let's look at the actual breakdown of the table. The nation's favorite holiday drivers. So these are people that people would want them to drive them. And for men, number one, as we said, Jeremy Clarkson. Number two was Rowan Atkinson. Actually, yes, I would do that. Rowan Atkinson, definitely. I mean, A, he's funny. B, he's incredibly intelligent. C, he really knows his cars. I mean, he's total petrol head. And D, he's, okay, yes, he's crashed his McLaren F1 twice famously, but he does race classics, for fun. So he's a pretty good driver, and you've seen him do all the stunts in Mr. Bean with the Mini. That was all him pretty much. And then number three on that list was David Beckham. Number four was Lewis Hamilton. Well, that makes sense, multiple world champion, F1 world champion. And number five is Captain Slow, James May. Which again, actually, yeah, he'd be quite good actually, because he'd be slow, steady, and also very interesting to talk to. For women, it actually differed a little bit. They also had Jeremy Clarkson at the top at number one. Number two, they had Lewis Hamilton. That makes sense. Number three, they also had David Beckham. I don't get the David Beckham thing, honestly. I'm surprised that he's featured so highly in these lists. I mean, I know he's a bit of a car guy, but I didn't get that. But anyway, if you can explain more, I mean, I'm not a football fan, so if you can explain that to me more, then do that in the comments, please. Here's interesting. This is women who they would want as one of their top drivers. At number four is Princess Anne. Princess Anne. Interesting. I don't have any comment on that one. Number five is 007 James Bond, Daniel Craig. And I guess they want him to take them out in an Aston Martin. I suppose that would make sense, wouldn't it? Daniel Craig, I can see that. I can see that because of his James Bond persona. I don't know if the guy is even into cars on a personal level. Actually, I don't know too much about that. I don't know what he's like as a driver on a personal level, but certainly in the James Bond persona, certainly gives that impression. So when they combined the men and the women, and they said all adults list came out as number one, Jeremy Clarkson, number two, David Beckham, number three, Lewis Hamilton, number four, Rowan Atkinson, and number five, Princess Anne. So that was quite interesting. So then obviously they asked for people that they wanted to ride with them. So who would they like to take with them as their passenger? And again, I'll break it down by men, women, and then I'll give you the combination as well. And this actually has the top 10. So hang tight for a bit. All right, here we go. So for men, this is for men. Number one was Peter Kay. As we've already mentioned. Number 2, Stephen Fry, as mentioned. Number 3, Bob Mortimer. Number 4, Frank Skinner. Yeah, I do like Frank Skinner. Number 5, Emma Watson. Okay. Number 6, Ed Sheeran. Okay. This is still the men's list. Number 7, Dua Lipa. Okay. Number 8, J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling is number 8 on the men's list of their favorite passenger to have on a road trip. Celebrity, that is. Interesting. Number 9 is Adele. And number 10 is Davina McCall. Interesting that. I'd love to hear what your choices are, but that's quite interesting. What about for women? What do they put on their list? Actually, there are some crossovers here as well. Peter Kay was again number 1. Wow. Number 2 was Adele. Number 3 was Stephen Fry. Number 4 was Ed Sheeran. And number 5 was Stacey Solomon. Number 6 was Bob Mortimer. Number 7 was Ryan Clark. And number 8 was Harry Styles. And number 9 was Claudia Winkleman. And number 10 was Emma Watson. Wow, okay. Combination of those two came up with, for all adults, Peter Kay, Stephen Fry, Bob Mortimer, Adele, Ed Sheeran, Emma Watson, Claudia Winkleman, J.K. Rowling, Stacey Solomon, and Frank Skinner. So these were the people that Kwik Fit found that when they did their survey, that they found that the people that most wanted to either have as their driver or have as their passenger. Hey, are you enjoying this video? Then make sure you hit the like button. It's very important. Plus, comment, share, and make sure you're subscribing. I went to the fantastic West London Show and Shine, I think it was last month, over in Southall. And I did a Vox Pop Q&A sort of thing there. And one of the questions I actually did ask them at the time was, what celebrity would you like to take on a road trip? If you could do a road trip with any celebrity, who would it be? You. Pick a proper one.
Oh, I have to go with a good friend of mine, Juggy D.
Probably you, actually.
A real one.
Gone mad.
A real celebrity.
Gone mad. Oh, difficult to say. I don't know. Steve McQueen.
Yourself.
You.
A real celebrity.
Messi.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Chris Harris or someone who's also into cars.
Paul Walker if it's alive, but Vin Diesel or Tyrese.
No, I'd just go with my girl. That's it.
Oh, look at that.
David Beckham. Probably Kevin Hart.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
For he's funny, got lots of jokes.
That's actually a really good answer. I like that.
I say Brian Skywalker. I forgot his name. It's Brian something. The guy in Fast and Furious with the skyline.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, yeah.
Probably like Stig.
Stig? Yeah. Well, he do the driving.
Well, both of us really do the driving. They can tell me.
He's not very talkative.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as he says to me, do this, do that. I'll show you right. Make sure your wife don't see this.
Yeah. Oh, he's got himself into trouble there. All right, brilliant. What about for me? I tell you what, I was thinking about this, and I wanted to break it down a little bit. In terms of people that have passed away, and it's interesting because I haven't got any car people on this list, actually, not that many, actually, to be honest with you. But, you know, there were a lot of people that chose to go out with comedians, and that makes a lot of sense. But somebody that, you know, I think that both on a comedic level would just probably crack me up the whole time, but also on a quite deep level that would be very interesting to talk to and get to understand, would be Robin Williams, the actor and comedian. I think that would be amazing. And I also thought about what car I might take them out in. And I think a classic VW Beetle convertible would be kind of fun, kind of cool to go out with them in one of those cars. I think you just get a kick out of it. And also, like, you know, people would see it's Robin Williams. It's like, whoa, you know. And I'm sure he'd start just interacting with people and engaging with people because, you know, that's the sort of person that I believe that he was. I would also add Malcolm X. Malcolm X. Do you remember Malcolm X? Black civil rights activist in America in the 60s. And I'd take him out in his car. Because his car is cool. 1963, black Oldsmobile 98. If you had seen pictures of it, that was his last car apparently. And yeah, this is a guy that went through an incredible journey, you know, from, you know, drugs and jail to, you know, the black Muslims of America, and then he went on Hajj. He underwent further spiritual and intellectual transformation, and taught himself the entire dictionary. Fascinating person. And I think that it would be incredible to chat with him and talk to him on that journey. And then the third person I had on that list. And for those of you that know me and know me that I'm a science fiction fan and particularly a Star Trek fan, unsurprisingly, I've got Gene Roddenberry, the founder and creator of Star Trek, on that list, because it's just, Star Trek isn't just a show. There's so much about the philosophy, the vision, the hopefulness that encompasses Star Trek, and also the fact that Star Trek broke barriers before anybody even thought of those barriers, and it created a TV show, mainstream TV show, well, pretty much, that, envisioned a future for humanity where, diversity was celebrated, and we had gone past our hang-ups, literally. Not only cultural diversity, ethnic hang-ups, but also corruption, greed. We were just all about the betterment of humanity. It was a very brilliant, optimistic view of the future that I wish more of us would ascribe to and aspire to. But yeah, it'd be fascinating to sit with him. And he had an incredible life as well, himself. So it'd be great to share some time with him in the car. So the car that I chose for him would be the Corvette Stingray. Why? Because a car of the time, and also because William Shatner, who played Captain Kirk, that was his car. I just thought that'd be kind of cool. In terms of living people, I thought about this, and again, the car guy that I could think of that probably I'd most like to take on a car journey would be Jay Leno. Because he's a proper car guy, but also he seems like a really genuine, affable, surprisingly down-to-earth chap when it comes to cars. So it'd just be great to spend some time with him. And also because, he's a comedian as well. But also because then maybe we could borrow his McLaren F1. Because I think he's got 2 of them, hasn't he? So take one of those out. Secondly, again, ascribing to my interest in science fiction and futurology and all that sort of stuff, and just the incredible wonders of the world, Professor Brian Cox. I think the guy is extraordinary. So I think it'd be great to spend some time with him and to sort of really try to get some. I mean, to be honest, most of the stuff he would say would go right over my head, because I think the guy just operates on a completely different level to the rest of us. But nonetheless, it would be try to glean something from him. I think it would be absolutely fascinating. Plus, I think he's kind of cool. I'd also like to ask him how he manages to stay so young looking. And I'd probably take him out in a Toyota FJ40 classic Land Cruiser. I would add also to this list Will Smith. I grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, love the Bad Boys movies. I love what he's done with the latest Bad Boy movie. I think it was fantastic. So, it'd be great to talk to him. And I know that he's quite a deep thinker. I know that he has a lot of views. I know I try not to get on the wrong side of him, but but I think it'd be, and he's funny, and I think, it'd be good. And I take him out in the car that he featured in the first Bad Boys movie, which was a 1994 Porsche 911 Turbo 964. Finally, in the list of celebrities to that, I would add Amitabh Bachchan. Now, Amitabh Bachchan is probably Bollywood's one of the biggest stars that they've ever had throughout the 70s, the 80s, you could say even the 90s. And some people say I look a bit like him. I was a huge fan. I don't watch so much Bollywood movies these days, but back then I used to watch a lot, and I was a massive fan of this guy. And so I think it'd be kind of cool to go out with him. Now, if you remember the movie The Driver, I think, where the name of the actor doesn't come to me right now, but I'll put it on screen. He destroys in a car park. He's being hired as a driver and he's being asked to demonstrate his skills, and he destroys a Mercedes, a classic Mercedes saloon. A similar kind of concept was reenacted in one of Amitabh Bachchan's movies, Kalia, where he did that out of a showroom, and everybody's dream is to drive a car straight out of a showroom window, and he does that, and he's actually driving a 1969 Camaro, Chevrolet Camaro. And I think it's an RS. Might be an SS, but I think it's an RS. But regardless, so take Amitabh Bachchan out in a 1969 Camaro. Let's call it an SS. And finally, I'm just gonna, and again, like that other guy that mentioned Ashwarya Rai, I'm hoping that my wife will never, this is way down this video, so hopefully she'll never get to watch this. Well, she doesn't watch my videos anyway, so she'll probably never watch this, and she probably won't get this far. So in this segment, I'm gonna mention my crushes. So I'm gonna say Sandra Bullock. Oh, ever since Demolition Man, come on, Sandra Bullock, and I think she's got German heritage, so and she's hilarious, and I think that she has a great sense of humor. So I think we'll go out in a nice little bubble car. Why not? Angelina Jolie, because come on. And of course it would have to be the 1967 Ford Mustang GT500, aka Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. Joanna Lumley, because ever since the New Avengers and when she played Purdy, I was like, whoa. And also she's just such a charming lady, and I think that deserving for her status would be a Jaguar E-Type. And finally, and again, this is one for the Bollywood aficionados, is somebody that probably one of my earliest questions, in addition to Joanna Lumley, would be Parveen Bobby. And for her, I'm going to preserve my all-time favorite car, Lotus Esprit Turbo. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Anyway, hey, this is just between you and me, right? Don't tell anyone, especially not my wife. Anyway, let me know who you would take as a celebrity on a road trip in the comments below. This is going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to hearing your comments.
Yo, it's quantum race, tales from the future's face. 13 stories gonna take it to outer space. From Martian canyons deep to Dubai's high rise. Secret lives, AI drives to the man who flies. Pedal to the metal in a 325. Race through time, keeping hope alive. AI takeovers, more lines than blur. Get your engines ready, rev it up for sure. Quantum races, lessons at the finish line. Fast-paced fiction to blow your mind. Tap and turn, more survivals to grind. Get lost in the pages, see what you find. Past predators hunt, tomorrow's man leads. Dystopian dreams where the future feeds. From India to the Middle East, stories collide. Uncharted roads in this epic ride. Jump in the driver's seat, feel the thrill. Speeding through the cosmos, choosing that chill. Worlds without wheels, secrets to unfold. In quantum races, legends are told. Quantum races, lessons at the finish line. Fast-paced fiction to blow your mind. Tap and turn, more survivals to grind. Get lost in the pages, see what you find.
Shout out time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoy my content, why not get involved? Buy me a coffee. You can do that at either of these links. Or if you're watching on YouTube, buy me a thanks or take out a membership. It all helps. It really does.